When my own mother humiliated me in front of 30 relatives, calling me useless, while everyone laughed, I didn't cry. I didn't defend myself. I simply looked at her and decided that day would be the last time anyone ever mocked me. They thought I was weak. They thought I'd stay small. But I wasn't planning revenge. I was planning transformation, and when I came back, they weren't ready for what I became. My name is Allah, and for most of my life, my mother made sure I believed I was nothing, not enough, not a disappointment, nothing. She loved comparing me to my older brother. If he got a 70%, he was brilliant. If I got a 90%, she'd ask why it wasn't 95. And the worst part? She always acted different in front of others, pretending to be the self-made, strong mother raising her children alone. People admired her. They respected her. They praised her strength. They had no idea how she treated me behind closed doors. But I never expected the day would come when she'd stop hiding it, when she would humiliate me publicly, when she would break something inside me so completely that I had to rebuild myself from scratch. This is the story of how my mother pushed me into the darkest version of myself and how I rose from it. It happened at a family gathering, my cousin's engagement party. Everyone was there. Aunties, uncles, grandparents, cousins I hadn't seen in years. I was quietly helping in the kitchen, arranging desserts, trying not to be in anyone's way. My mother liked it that way. She always told me, stay behind the scenes. You'll embarrass yourself if you try to socialize. I'd gotten used to it. But that night, she wanted attention. She walked into the living room where everyone was sitting and chatting. She stood in the center, smiling proudly. And then she called me Ayla. Come here. I froze for a second. My hands were sticky from cutting fruit. My heart started racing. Whenever she called me loudly, it meant trouble. But I wiped my hands and walked out. 30 faces turned toward me. My mother put her hand on my shoulder like she was about to praise me. And then she said the sentence that would change my life forever. How does it feel to be useless, daughter? People laughed. Not everyone, but enough. Me, her daughter. Humiliated like entertainment, she continued. You know, she still hasn't figured her life out. I keep telling her, Ayla, do something, be someone. But children today, so disappointing. I felt heat crawl up my neck. My chest tightened. My ears rang. But I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I didn't defend myself. I just looked at her, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel hurt. I felt done. Something snapped. Something final. Something irreversible. I walked away silently. But inside I made a promise. This version of me dies tonight. A new one is born. I left home 2 weeks later. No fights, no drama, just a quiet departure. I took 2 bags. One with clothes. One with my laptop and documents. I moved into a shared room I could barely afford. I ate cheap noodles, worked part-time jobs. I studied online at night. Every insult she ever threw at me became fuel. Every humiliation became motivation. I learned skills. I studied relentlessly. I built things. But every time I heard her words echo in my mind, useless, I pushed harder. I wasn't planning revenge. I wasn't even thinking about her. I was building myself. 2 years later, I wasn't the same girl. I had a full-time remote job in a tech company, a freelance portfolio, a growing income, a tiny apartment of my own, a circle of friends who respected me, confidence I didn't know I was capable of. I was finally at peace. Until one day, my mother called. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Her voice was different, not powerful, not commanding, small, afraid. Allah, I need you to come home. I said nothing. She continued. Your brother, he left. He took money, and I have debt. I might lose the house. Silence, Ayla. Listen, I know you're angry, but I cut her off. I'm not angry, Mom. She exhaled in relief. I then added, I'm indifferent. Silence. It was the first time she heard my voice without fear or hesitation. The first time I spoke like someone who owed her nothing. She whispered, Please, we need you. We, yes me, the mother who called me useless, now needed the daughter she had thrown away. I agreed to come home not to stay, but to close a chapter. But I had one condition. There will be no yelling, no insults, no comments about my life, otherwise I walk out. She agreed instantly. That's when I realized how desperate she was. Walking into that house felt strange. Everything was the same, yet nothing felt familiar. She looked older, more fragile, more tired. She hugged me awkwardly. For a moment, I felt a wave of old emotions: sadness, disappointment, longing. The laughter. The humiliation. The way she enjoyed tearing me apart. The feeling vanished. We sat at the table. She explained everything. My brother had taken out loans under her name. He disappeared. Relatives had turned their backs on her. It's the same relatives she'd tried to impress by mocking me. I listened quietly. She finished. She said the words I never imagined hearing. "Ayla, I'm sorry I didn't respond." She continued, voice breaking. "I pushed you too hard. I compared you. I said horrible things. I didn't know how to be a mother. I'm ashamed." I finally spoke. "Do you remember what you said at the party?" She closed her eyes. Shame washed over her face. "Yes, say it," she whispered, trembling. "How does it feel to be useless, daughter?" I nodded slowly. That sentence built the version of me you see today. She looked confused, but she didn't understand that she had created my strength by trying to crush me. Revenge doesn't always look like shouting. Sometimes revenge is walking into the room as the person they swore you'd never become. I opened my laptop, showed her my income, projects I built, people who respected me, companies that hired me, companies that hired me. "Allah, you did all this alone?" Yes, her lips trembled. She looked down at her hands. "I misjudged you." I leaned back and said, "No, Mom, you never judged me. You only projected your brokenness onto me." Tears fell from her eyes. And for the first time ever, I saw regret, not fake regret, but the kind that eats a person from the inside. I helped her fix her debts, not because she deserved it, but because I deserved peace. Once everything was settled, I packed my bag. She asked quietly, "Will you visit again?" I shook my head gently. "I'm not coming back, but I don't hate you. I just don't belong here," she cried silently. But this wasn't cruelty. This was closure. My revenge wasn't destroying her. My revenge was becoming the version of myself she never believed I could be and letting her live with the knowledge that she was wrong. That's the kind of guilt that lingers forever. I walked away from that house for the last time. It's no anger, no bitterness, no desire for punishment, only freedom. Sometimes the best revenge is no longer seeking their approval. It's no longer being small. It's no longer allowing the past to define you. Sometimes the best revenge is becoming someone they can never belittle again. So if you've ever been called useless, if you've ever been humiliated by your own family, if you've ever been underestimated, remember, their words are reflections of their fears, not your worth. Stand up, walk away, build yourself quietly. And when you come back, don't come back for revenge. Come back to show them that you didn't break, you evolved.